Hey, what's up guys? John here. This is my number one tip for new investors right now. I know we're hearing over and over and over again that the Fed is printing so much money and we need to get our dollars into things that matter, hard assets. The best asset, in my opinion, is land. It's real estate, something we'll always need. It's a roof over our head. But the question then becomes is where do we invest? Well, we don't invest in LA. We do not invest in New York. And the reason being is because of rent control. And rent control, what this is, and now it's spreading over to Chicago most likely, what this is it tells landlords what they can and can't do with their properties. Let me give you an example. Let's say that you have an apartment building in Los Angeles and you have a tenant that you wanted to evict, maybe for failure to pay rent, whatever it may be. And that tenant, you take them to court, it might cost you $20,000 to take that tenant to court because they have free help. They have free tenant assistant and legal programs. Landlords don't. Landlords have to come out of pocket and pay $300-$400 an hour for it. But if this was in Florida, you can get that tenant out for a couple $100. You just go to court and it's an open market. So you have the opportunity. But what's very interesting is not just that. But what's very interesting is what landlords can and can't do with their apartments in terms of rent. So let's say that you have a tenant that's been there for 10 years and they've been paying $1,000 per month and they keep renewing their lease. It just goes month to month. You can only increase the rent between 3% or 5% or whatever they vote on each year. So that is what you can increase the rent to. The problem is the cost to actually keep up that unit, the cost to repair the unit, to have servicemen come out and actually fix things. It just increases over time. So what happens is landlords are less incentivized to keep up with those units. And because they're less incentivized to keep up with the units because they need to make enough money on the building, they don't do it. So the building just falls apart. And then on top of that, then we have a situation where tenants don't want to move. And so since tenants don't want to move, all the new young tenants that want an affordable place to live, they don't have anything to choose from. So they have to go rent the brand new luxury buildings at $3,000 a unit, where there's an apartment, if it was a free market, there'd be an apartment down the street available for $1,500 because, there's just an open spread of inventory to choose from. Well, now that's coming to Chicago, and this is what you need to know. So Lori Lightfoot, this lady right here, has a plan to create more affordable housing to prevent homelessness. Her plan, along with Gavin Newsom and Andrew Cuomo, to prevent homelessness ultimately gives them more power and freedom over people's properties and their investments, what they can and can't do with their properties. Well, right now, Illinois is currently one out of 33 states that bans rent control. State Rep Will Guzzardi, House Bill 116, repeals Illinois' statewide ban on local units of government imposing any type of rent control. It garnered enough votes to pass the House Housing Committee Wednesday, just last week, March 24th. Opponents of this legislation compared allowing rent control to opening Pandora's box, because it is. The real estate market has finally begun to recover 15 years after the market implosion, said Rep. Sam Yingling, a Rockford Democrat and real estate agent. It's important to recognize that many of these landlords are not giant, faceless corporations, but rather mom and pop investors. Yeah, that's true. In America, we have between 10 and 11 million mom and pop investors who own one property or maybe two properties, little house or duplex. But you think about it, these people bought these properties based on their savings from their business. Now their business is getting hit really hard with all the regulation, and now rent control is going to come in. Mike Minnie, Executive Vice President of the Chicago Land Apartment Association, a member of the Shape Illinois Coalition, said rent control won't fix Chicago's area's affordable housing problem, rather will worsen it. Price controls on rent negatively impact the housing market by deferring maintenance on existing housing and discouraging the construction of new housing, as I mentioned. Guzzardi and others say rent control isn't a silver bullet, but rather a tool in their mission to more affordable housing. Guzzardi is the co-chairman of the Illinois House Progressive Caucus. This law is progressing because some cities want to try it. What cities might that be? Guzzardi, a Democratic member of the Illinois House of Representatives who represents the 39th District. The 39th District is in Chicago. Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot has a plan to create affordable housing and prevent homelessness. Her plan, written prior to her being elected, did not mention rent control, but put all these pieces together, and guess what this bill is all about? Under pressure to fight rising rents, state lawmakers in Illinois, Oregon, and California are considering repealing laws that limit cities' ability to pass or expand rent control. While rules and regulations of rent control vary from place to place, most rent control consists of caps and price increases within the duration of a tenancy and sometimes beyond the duration of a tenancy, as well as restrictions on evictions. While rent control appears to help current tenants in the short run, in the long run, it decreases affordability, fuels gentrification, and creates negative spillovers in the surrounding neighborhoods. Rent control and a couple of standard options by landlords, neither good. Landlords convert their buildings to condos to reduce the supply of apartments, or they stop maintenance and say to hell with it. Some small landlords with a few units sometimes choose to move into a unit for a year, then the next, and then the next until prices reset. Renters who do not want to move often don't because of rent hikes. Finally, who wants to build apartments in rent control cities? The Catello Institute has filled an amicus brief of Second Circuit in an important challenge to New York's rent control laws. Rent control is a silly and counterproductive idea, but it also might be unconstitutional. I think that this is ultimately just a play of power. It's a play for Lori Lightfoot and Big Brother to take control of property and make it unbearable for landlords to survive so they can roll out their plan. I mean, we look at SB 1079 in California, and what this is, it allows landlords to basically sell their properties to Big Brother. That's their only option. Big Brother is first right of refusal to buy these properties from property owners. So there's no competition. And now in New York, they're trying to roll out this whole new system where they have a buyout fund where they can buy properties from distressed landlords. They're distressed because of the rules and regulations that they're putting in right now for our safety. In 2019, the New York legislation passed a series of amendments to its rent control laws known as rent stabilization, RSLs. These are not the first amendments and still controversial RSLs, though they are the most stringent in decades. One of the most egregious new provisions extends the eviction stay period even if the tenant is being removed for cause. So even if you remove them for not paying rent or for whatever is legally allowed, then this steps in. The RSLs also maintain a tenant strange right to transfer their lease without the landlord's permission to a family member who have resided with them for a certain amount of time. So if you have a tenant and then they have a family member, maybe they're just a real problematic person, and they can just transfer it, they can sell their lease to a relative, they can do whatever they want as if it's their own property. To a family member, resided with them for a certain amount of time. So that could be a weekend. That could all be made up, and that likely will be taken advantage of. Taken together, for the RSLs force landlords to rent to many tenants they don't want to rent to, which is akin to the government essentially mandating that someone can occupy a property without an owner's will. When the government doesn't physically take land, but rather passes regulation that greatly undermines traditional property rights, it's possible that such regulations can be a regulatory taking under the Fifth Amendment taking clause, meaning that compensation is owed to a property owner with New York's RSLs, while each provisions might not alone rise to regulatory taking, together they offend the common law. The right to exclude people from occupying the property is obviously central to the concept of property. The RSLs imposed on New York's landlords are nothing short of per se takings. It is high time the work the Supreme Court has done in this area be drawn nearer to its obvious conclusion. If cities wanted to do something about the supply, they would give tax breaks for apartment construction. Yeah, I spent over $25,000 in Los Angeles to build a little 1,700 square foot duplex in strictly city fees and taxes. $25,000, a little duplex. Just in fees. Think about how insane that is. If they really want to help tenants, they will do something to incentivize landlords to build more housing. Supply and demand dictate price. You limit the supply that's available, the price is going to reflect that. Right now, my message to new investors out there, you're thinking about buying property, you're thinking about buying rentals, you need to learn and study the politics in the cities that you invest. And I'm not saying that, supporting the left wing or the right wing or anything, but you need to understand the risk that you're taking in certain markets. In Florida, you take a certain level of risk compared to New York or California. Much less risk. You have more freedom and more control. So you need to understand how this whole system works. And right now, what we're seeing is the system is being changed and rebuilt. So right now, it's very hard to win a game when we all don't know the rules to the game. So stay tuned to what's happening in Chicago. If you own property there and you're going to hold on to that property, I would make sure you increase rents if you can, while you can, before rent control comes in. So please smash that like button, help me share this video to educate more investors. Also consider subscribing for more content on personal finance, business, real estate, and of course, money. All right, guys, see you in the next video.